Actually, I've fiddled with those settings and now I don't like it. The look of it in there. That's a shame.
Looks good.
Fiddle. Just look at there. It just looks a little thingy there. I do like it though. That is a good shot.
Finally, we have something on the wall behind us that's not.
We do, and it's slightly skewed. I don't know whether if that's the camera because I can see more of my shoulders. Maybe if I hunch down a bit. I don't know. But yeah, that looks good. Are you already getting messages?
I need to take a photo.
Oh, you need to take a photo of this
people.
To send to people. Yeah. Look, we are professional and shit. Brian's first comment. Oh, how cute.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brian. Oh, now the first part of the show is Dale taking a selfie.
It's backwards though for some reason.
Yeah, because the camera's in mirror, so you'll have to rotate the camera or the picture when you do it.
Is that lined up, Jamie? Yeah. Maybe just Jamie take a photo.
Now the first part of the show is okay. Careful, man. Okay, so hello,
for some reason.
Everyone. Brian. Yeah, because the camera's in. We are on for D&G18, and so far it's a minute and a half of.
I think I did it right.
That's okay.
Of Dale trying to take a photo.
That's a good photo.
It's not a bad photo. Personally, I would have zoomed in a little bit and got us a little bit tighter, but can't all be good. Yeah, okay.
What are you watching?
I was watching a little bit of Glory boxing
on
ESPN, just because I get the feeling that there's a savage crotch shot in here somewhere.
see.
Although, let's not let's not deprive everyone of some boxing. So we'll bring it up. I think this is actually a knockout. Oh no, that was it. Wow. That was it. Did we see that? Did everyone see that?
Everyone being Brian.
Brian, did you see that? We'll just quickly go back.
I see Brian will because it'll be delayed.
Here we go. You watching? There it is. You missed it.
Oh, I saw it.
You saw it?
It was cheeky.
It was pretty full on. I wonder if boxers with those massive fucking shorts and I don't understand why they've got such ankle support. Why they
look at him.
Would they wear a box or a cup, as the Americans say? I would be interested to know as to whether they would, because if they don't,
no, they would.
And he's just given him a very swift left hook to the nuts. That would hurt. There's no question of that.
Yeah, no, they definitely have to wear boxes. They wear those weird ones.
What are the weird ones?
They guts when you punch it in the guts.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know the ones you mean.
Like they got a cock.
They go like that. The padding goes like that, and then it also goes down.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, so I was just on Middle Easy before you got here, having a look at a few things. There wasn't too many other events. Bukau in the K1 apparently just walked. They got to the end of the fight and it was decided it was a draw and that it was going to go to an extra round because it needed to have a final. The belt and the win and stuff.
Shit.
And Sergey, Karatanov
beat
Anderson Silva today.
Yes.
Which was pretty interesting.
Considering it's Anderson different Silva.
Yeah, Anderson Robert Silva or something like that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's a few of the little sporting tidbits that have been happening today. There hasn't been any big UFCs.
No. There's been a bit of Twitter beef going on during the week. I don't know.
I do not know what you're referring to. So include me.
Mayhem and Dana White. I don't know. I haven't been paying attention. Mayhem posted something saying, "Hey Dana, remember that girl that you slept with that gave you an STD and started to ruin your marriage? Yeah, I hit that as well," or something like that. And then Mayhem got a SWAT team coming into his house and arresting him.
There you go.
So, yeah, big action packed.
There you go. Chris thinks it's awesome.
She does. She likes the D&G.
And so is my face, apparently.
Oh, she always likes your face.
She does. She likes my face.
I can't decide whether I like the fact that it's slightly lopsided.
That's okay.
I can't decide if I like it or dislike it. But yeah. I was also thinking that what we can do is we can add little things to it over time.
Sprinkles.
So when we've got another little reference to something that we've done on the show, put it there. Yeah. Like if someone sends us a gift of some, like an action figure or something, we can blue tack it to the wall, and that can be there as well.
Speaking of action figures,
yes,
I've made the horrible, heart-wrenching decision to sell some of my action figures.
Oh wow! I didn't even know you had any action figures.
They're on eBay at the moment.
Oh, okay. Well, let's make sure the fans are aware of it. I.e. Brian, in case Brian wants to buy some action figures. Oh, why would it do that? This is just annoying now. Oh my god, come on. You can get rid of the whole thing. Be quicker. What's your username?
Dumbledore's Army 222.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
Yeah. Fucking love Harry Potter.
Is there anything you don't love?
Yes, Game of Thrones.
What was it? Dumbledore's Army
222.
222.
I don't think you'll be able to find me.
I should be able to.
See, I don't know how to do this.
That should, in my opinion,
that
should have.
Look for the Goon. You might need to.
That's a 9.8. That one.
It's a 9.8. You might need to refine it to Australia only. Down. Australia only.
And it's a figure, isn't it? So it should be.
I've got a few figures, yeah.
But should I put in the Goon figure?
Just
should I then put figure?
Figurine, yeah. I think I'll find it. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's one.
That's yours there?
Yeah. So we'll just put all my...
Yeah, there it is. Dumbledore's Army.
See other items.
There we are, folks. Oh, ignore the fitness person. Oh my god, that's annoying me. Trying to do a professional show here, and the computer's just playing funny buggers. Oh, I did it again.
Doesn't matter.
There it is. Okay, the Goon Deluxe action figure, $60 opening bid. Get in for a bargain.
I have a watcher.
So there is somebody watching. So you can't mess around here. So that's the zoomed in version. There you go. It's pretty.
Never
good.
Been opened. Mint.
It is next to some mints, which the folks.
It is actually next to some mints.
The folks at home can't see that it's next to some mints, but we can.
Yeah.
So that's the figure there. As I said, $60. Go for things.
Yeah.
Just think, if you purchase one of these, it's actually going towards the show.
Mm-hmm.
Because if Dale has more money, he can then do better things for the show or something. I don't know. $20 for a Living Dead doll. A lot of Living Dead dolls, it appears. And all in the box still. Scooby-Doo, only $10 for the full set. There you go. Patrick Bateman figure. I get the feeling you used to have a lot of disposable income.
Yeah.
There's the Goon again. Oh, Goon lunchbox.
I couldn't bring myself to sell my Umbrella Academy figurines.
I can understand that. You're quite a fan of that. So as you can see there, folks, it's now gone white. We've lost...
This has gone up a bit.
What's gone up?
Oh, no, it's Lenore.
Lenore.
Go to the Tim Burton ones. How much was they selling those for?
$30 you were selling that for.
Were they? Someone's bid on that, hopefully?
No.
Up.
Where? I don't think you've got any... Oh, you've got one bid on the Living Dead doll.
Oh.
For Angus Little Rich.
Little Rot, yeah.
Whatever. And that one, the double
There you go.
Yep.
There you go. In business.
There you go, guys. Yeah.
I need money, so please buy my things.
Yeah, buy some stuff. Okay, cool. There we go.
Yeah. No more bids.
No more bids. What?
I'm just saying that it tells me there if anyone's bidding.
Oh, it comes up. It gives you a thingy. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's news?
Not much,
No.
really.
No.
I too, like yourself, am back at school.
Ooh.
Although I was quite disappointed last week. It turns out that the teacher we had for the first half of the day does not like the laptop being open and up, and wants me to use pens and stuff to write and stuff.
So how are you going to upload the show?
Exactly. Luckily, the teacher in the afternoon class doesn't mind the laptop being up. So luckily, on Tuesday last week, this week, I was able to upload the show.
Good.
In the afternoon. So it actually worked out quite well. I was able to, everything was working really quickly and fast. I was able to upload the show and convert to MP3 and upload the audio as well, all in the afternoon. So it worked quite well.
Good stuff.
That said, though, I haven't checked the YouTube channel for the stats or anything for how we're doing for episode 17. Which is just a curiosity thing for me because it's all a what's it called?
Publicity stunt.
No, a popularity contest, and I want to be more popular. So yeah, just checking that. Yeah, back at school learning stuff. Oh, we had 2 views and a like of D&G18.
Nice.
It appears. Yeah, 2 views, 1 like.
Can we see who?
No. We can see where from if we go to
statistics?
Analytics.
Angle.
Yeah. But yeah, it seems that a lot of people aren't watching the entire show, which is kind of fair enough, because how often do you... a good example of a show that does a similar format to us is Rogan. How often do you actually sit down at your computer and watch an entire Rogan? You listen to an entire episode, but very rarely do I watch an entire Rogan experience. So it's not surprising that people aren't
tuning in for the whole
for the full YouTube experience. I'd be interested though to see the Podomatic audio numbers.
So cool.
You do like that, don't you?
That's such a cool picture.
Is that the new background? Even though we've just changed the background to the fight picture. That episode 17's going up written like that.
Not good.
No. Oh, 1 download via the Podomatic website, which is pretty interesting and good.
Is that one of us?
Oh, for fuck's sake, that went up as a... Oh my god, that's annoying. Sorry, no, it wouldn't have been one of us because I don't download it from the Podomatic site unless you do.
No.
That's very frustrating. It's gone up written as episode 5. Anyway, let's do more stuff in regards to the actual show. Instead of just talking about what's been going on with stats and stuff that's probably not that interesting to the people listening at home. Brian, give us a question. You're always good with that kind of stuff and talking points and stuff. That's always good. New Rancid album apparently coming out.
Yes.
It seems that a lot of people are quite interested. I listened to the little YouTube thing that got posted up by a good friend of the show, Link. The Evil's My Friend track, that's the third one of the 3 that they put little snippets of. Very awesome. Classic SoCal ska. Very nice. Nothing...
Do you like Rancid?
Yeah. Nothing mind-blowing or anything, but very, very nice. I'm not a huge Rancid fan, but I definitely like Southern California 90 or 2000s ska punk. And Out Come the Wolves is a classic, obviously.
See, I didn't actually own that album until about a month and a half ago.
I was very late.
Yeah.
I remember seeing...
I've listened to the album a million times, but I didn't actually own a copy of it until about a month and a bit ago.
I've known about it for a long time. I remember people looking at it and listening to it in high school, but I didn't get into it until much later. I got into it with the similar ska wave or scene and stuff of Melbourne, because I had friends that were into that, and I got into that, and subsequently then listened to where the influences from that came from, which was obviously the classic 80s ska, but also the 2000s. So yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Great. I feel like I could really do with like a coffee or something. I had freaking sleepy tea instead.
You didn't have a coffee this morning?
Oh yeah, I had two cold drips and I had a coffee here at home, and so I've had like 3 coffees all up, but I could go for one now. That's what I'm saying. Now.
So today is like officially the start of cold drip season. It was 29 degrees today, wasn't it?
Yes, it was warm. It was definitely warm. And
I saw at the coffee shop where I bumped into people today, there was cold drip on the brew.
They had 2 cold drips on the brew.
They did.
They had the large one and the small one. I don't know. Based on their the menu for the coffee, there was multiple different varieties of cold drip you could have. It was very nice, the first one I had and the second one, to be honest. But yeah, I just thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to have a cold drip today. I just didn't feel like a latte or anything. Even though Axel does great coffee all round, I just felt like a cold drip. So yeah, I've got to, as it starts getting warmer and stuff, I've got to get my hobo cold drip happening. Even though the guys at Axel have said to me, if you want one, we don't sell them, but if you want one, we can source one. Of the smaller plastic variety.
They'd be so expensive.
$300 or so.
Fucking Jesus.
I think
a reach around.
I think that's what he said. Hopefully,
what's it called? A Hako.
Hario is the brand. It's pretty much Hario is pretty much the brand of coffee paraphernalia in Melbourne at the moment. It's the one that everyone seems to be going for. That's a cold drip there if anyone was interested. So the top chamber is filled with water. I have even been told to just fill it with ice. And then the little valve underneath that controls the drip. Your aim, I believe, from my small amount of reading, is to drip it at 1 drip a second. So it's just a constant drip, drip, drip. And you fill up your chamber with the right amount of coffee to water ratio, with the coffee in a very coarse grind. You put a small little filter on top which allows the drip to hit here and then spread out so that the entire coffee is soaked, not just a section right in the middle. That then drips into the bottom chamber, and when it's done, you pull the bottom chamber out, pour it into your cup, and you drink away.
You don't put it in the fridge?
You can if you want. You can store it for time. My thought, when I did it with my little hobo setting over last summer, during the hot season,
What's a hobo setting?
Sorry?
What's a hobo setting?
What I did is I took a water filter. Here's another picture of a similar one, looking very snazzy. I took a water filter, which is a aluminium chamber at the top, aluminium chamber at the bottom, that has a water filter sitting in the top that then drips. I took that, I separated them, and I put a pour-over cup in the middle. I used a little thing in there to balance it all, and put the coffee in there with a filter over it. So the gravity-fed water filter, would filter the water, drip it onto the coffee, which would then come through into the chamber. That worked really well. I was very pleased that most mornings I could get up in the morning and I'd have a big cold coffee sitting waiting for me, of which I could then start drinking and also put into a flask and take with me to work. But I didn't find that I got quite the right beans for it, because it's a type of coffee that you really need to... I can't believe we're talking about coffee again. It's a kind of coffee that you need to get the beans right, because the most espresso or most beans, it's better to hot water pressure to get flavour out of them. So yeah, it's a style that is a very particular taste, and if done right, it's quite nice.
Nice. Because the one at Excel today had like a coil system going.
That is a much bigger system.
Apparatus.
Here's a quick little one with ice in the top, and that ice will just melt overnight and pour through. Let me see if I can find... So that at Axel they had one of the Hario ones going, but next to that is the much larger with the spiral system that you're referring to.
The coffee bomb.
Which is it's a very impressive thing. There it is there. It's a very impressive apparatus to have sitting on your counter at your cafe. To have something like that. Now that obviously is a much bigger system. I mean, that's 4 foot tall. So the amount of water in the top chamber, the amount of coffee you're using, and the amount of coffee at the end is obviously much bigger. But that'll be left overnight to filter. And then they'll come in the morning and it'll all be there. They'll bottle it up and put it into the fridge and then bring it out, because that's what I had today. That was clearly it had just come from the fridge. That's a triple system going there.
So why is this all the rage at the moment? Is it just because of the warmer weather?
During the warmer weather, everyone's trying to find a type of coffee to have during the warmer weather, because everyone's like, oh, I want an iced coffee, but I don't want milk and stuff and all that kind of stuff. Also, these different styles of coffee have been made over in other countries, particularly Japan seems to be experimenting quite a lot with coffees. And I just did a search for cold coffee and iced coffee. It's all just milk and
However, there is Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran for some reason. Maybe he's got an album maybe called Cold Coffee.
Maybe he does have the worst tattoos in the entire world. Cafe Con Helio.
Yeah, I think I've spelled that incorrectly. Cafe Con Helio Gracie,
yeah.
So
TPP bunghole.
This is a coffee that I discovered last 2 summers ago. It is literally as many ice cubes as you can fit into the cup.
Yep.
And then put it under your machine, pour espresso straight on top of it. I also suggest like a little bit of sugar, a little bit of honey, just to sweeten it up, and it's fantastic. I think that is a great summer cold coffee drink if you've got the ability to do it, or if your local cafe will do it. If you ask them, I don't know whether they will or not. That's a great one. Pretty much any cold coffee, make it your normal coffee, add sugar and a tiny bit of sugar to just give it a little sweetness, honey, something like that, and ice, and it's going to be nice. Mainly because you're then drinking just a sweet coffee drink.
But wouldn't that make it like similar to a cold long black? Because there's the extra water and the water that's pressed through the espresso machine.
For the Cafe Con Helio, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
It does end up, because the ice melts a little bit and stuff whilst it cools the coffee, and you holding it will melt the ice a bit. It does make it just a cold long black, but that little bit of sugar just adds that little bit of sweetness, which works really well, because the flavour of the coffee beans doesn't respond well to cold water all the time. That's why with the cold drip you have to leave it overnight. You have to leave it to soak and everything. Yeah.
That's so cool. Now this leads to a point that we kind of touched on before. Drinking a hot drink in the hot weather. You were saying how people are trying to find ways to get a cold drink because it's hot and they don't want to have an iced tea or iced coffee or anything like that because of the sugar. However, I heard today that the best thing to do in really hot weather is to have a hot drink.
I've heard that kind of thing as well.
That's why in Morocco and stuff like that. That's why they have hot teas and stuff like that. Why are there so many pictures of people blowing up balloons?
I don't know. You're right, because there's another one. Must be part of the words that I used in that search. Yeah, I've heard that kind of stuff of hot drink in hot weather, and the theory is that it warms your body to acclimatise it to the outside or something.
Don't know. Well, I know. On the flip side to that, if you're ever dying of thirst in the snow, you shouldn't eat the snow
because it takes more effort to chew it and stuff,
and for your body to warm it up to the temperature for it to be absorbed. And
yeah, so that then the hydration that you get is actually not enough to combat what you just used. Yeah. That said, though, if you get the snow and you are able to put it into some kind of container and melt it under your arm or something like that, you can then drink it.
Possibly.
But you always should go into the snow with a metal container of which you can put the snow in and then create a fire underneath it.
And never eat yellow snow.
Watch out where the huskies go.
Watch out where the huskies go.
Yeah.
What else?
I don't know. What else you got?
Nothing. Been watching any good movies or anything lately?
Movies. No, I've been hearing good things about Gone Girl.
Yeah.
So...
That's sort of saying to Chris the other day. Everyone's fucking reading that on the train. And tram, wherever I go.
Well, the movie's been so successful that everyone's just like, well, I've got to read the book. I like to read books.
It was like that with Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Yep. Game of Thrones, the same. The books.
Game of Thrones.
Best thing for the books that ever happened was the shows.
Yeah.
Hunger Games.
Hunger Games, yeah.
Star Wars.
Star Wars?
I don't know. Speaking of Star Wars, I did just download a whole heap of Star Wars comics, which I'm pretty excited about.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, going to read them.
Nice.
Also, just read the first issue today, I think it was today, of Promethea.
Ah, it's Promethea.
It is Promethea. It is an Alan Moore book.
I knew the title.
The first issue got me hooked.
Yeah.
He is an absolute comics genius in his writing.
Yeah.
Because part of it was somewhat cheesy, but I still loved it and was just like, oh my god, I'm so looking forward to reading the rest of this.
What's it about?
It's about a character called Promethea, who is a literary character that people have written about over the years. Now, this is all based on just the first issue, so I could be very wrong in what happens after the first issue. But if you write about her, you become imbued with her spirit, and you become her, and then you fight evil.
Oh, wow.
I think that's sort of it. But I was it's very 80s, even though it's actually set in like 2001 or 14 or something, I don't know.
13 years.
Yeah, it's set in the future from the 80s, but it's still very 80s. It's got a very similar feel to it to Watchmen.
Yeah.
In the artwork and everything. But he's just brilliant.
Yeah.
I've literally read one issue of it.
You're hooked.
And I'm hooked. And
Cool.
I can't wait to continue reading. Yeah, very much looking forward to continuing on with the show and the comic.
What show?
I don't know. There's no one watching. Brian hasn't commented.
No. What did I lend you during the week?
Shutter Island?
Yes, and you read that.
Read that, which is funny because I still haven't read the other one that you lent me.
That's
but I went through Shutter Island. I didn't want to put it down when I first started reading it. I was reading it and I thought to myself, I'm really enjoying this, but I'm going to fall asleep in a second, so I had to put it down. I've already seen the movie.
Yeah.
I knew exactly what the twist was.
Yeah.
But I loved it.
Yep.
There was something in the writing which I hope it was true to the book.
Mm-hmm.
There was something in the writing that I just really enjoyed, and it felt a little bit more thorough
than the movie a little bit.
Yeah.
Not to suggest that the movie's not thorough, but
Well, Martin Scorsese film, you know.
but it and it also, I had an argument with the guy at work about what the ending was.
Yep.
Of Shutter Island. Is Shutter Island old enough that we can talk?
Well, if people haven't seen it,
we can ruin it. We'll skip ahead, guys. If spoiler alert, that's our first spoiler alert. I think.
Yep.
We're about to spoil something. So the whole premise of Shutter Island is that the entire story is a psychological test experiment to try and make the guy, allow him to live out his fantasy and try to then show him that he's living in a delusion. Instead of, he thinks he is a federal agent who's investigating murder, but it turns out he's actually delusional because he's the one that committed the murder. The reason he committed the murder was because his wife killed his children and was also crazy.
Who did he murder, though?
Sorry?
Who did he murder?
His wife.
Did he?
His wife, according to the book,
Yeah, his wife
the comic, because his wife killed
the kids.
Killed the 3 kids,
Yeah.
and he then turned and killed her.
Okay.
And he was then put away, but he because of what he did, he blew his own mind out, not physically, but delusionally, into thinking that he was now a federal agent trying to investigate a disappearance at this island facility when and he was using it as a ruse to get to the man that killed his wife.
Yes.
Because he had split his personality away from being the man that killed his wife. He thought he was someone else. So yeah, that's...
He made an anagram of his name.
Yeah. And in the end... Oh yeah, it's Michelle Williams plays the...
She's so attractive.
Wife. She's very attractive.
There's like 4 women that look exactly like her, and they're all beautiful.
They look exactly like
Exactly like Michelle Williams.
Okay, who are they?
There's Michelle Williams, Adelaide Clement, I think her name is. She's an Australian actress. And then there's someone else. They all look exactly the same, and I'm very attracted to all of them.
And in the end, this is the spoiler part. In the end, he sits down next to the what's it called? The guy,
Psychiatrist?
The psychiatrist who is pretending to be his partner.
Mm-hmm.
He sits down next to him and says, and has fallen, like, he has a breakthrough.
Mm-hmm.
And he realizes exactly what had really happened, and he knew that he was the killer. And he then sits back down next to the shrink and says, and the shrink says, "What do you want to do now?" And he's relapsed back to, I now haven't had that breakthrough. That breakthrough never happened. And that's the point at which they then say, well, we're now going to lobotomize you because you're incredibly violent.
Yeah.
And they, what further solidified it for me in the book was they had 4 days to conduct this experiment to try and make him realize. Of course, he realizes, and then instantly it's ruined. And he goes back to being a nut job.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, great film. Great book, great everything. Highly recommend it. Yeah. What are I noticed you're looking at.
Well, look. They're 4 different actresses that all look like the exact same person.
Oh, so 4 different actors look like her at different
That's
things. That's not that
Michelle
close.
Williams. That's Carey Mulligan.
That's just because
the
they're blind.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
I don't agree that they look that close.
They do.
It's Zoe Deschanel that looks like.
Zoe Deschanel looks like everyone.
She looks like a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's the cover of the comic or the graphic novel.
I really like it. If you look closely, in the top picture, his eyes are open, in the bottom and closed, and the bottom they're open.
Ah.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I don't know if everyone can see that.
Let me just click on this one and then get a bit closer. Yeah. It's quite an interesting reference to the rest of the movie and the show and the book and the story and everything like that. So yeah, that's a couple of little comics that I've read. I haven't had much chance to read.
He's quite a good author, the guy that wrote the actual book. He quite a few of his movies have been made in books have been made into movies. Mystic River was one of them. The other was Gone Baby Gone.
Oh yeah,
which was directed by Ben Affleck. I thought it was Gone Girl, but that's written by someone else. Brian, what's it
Brian wasn't a fan of Shutter Island.
Oh,
the movie, Brian, the movie or the book or the story. I quite liked it. I remember.
Yeah, so did I.
I remember the twist being quite satisfying. It wasn't like a late career M Night twist.
Oh God!
It was more like an early career M Night twist, which was a positive for me.
Like what? What is a good M Night Shyamalama Ding Dong twist?
Don't
say Sixth Sense, because that everyone could see that coming a mile away.
Everyone
went on about, oh my God, there's this massive twist in the movie. And I purposely said, all right, don't tell me what it is. And from the start of the movie, I'm like, Bruce Willis has not talked to a single person besides the kid. He's not opened a single door in this movie. He is clearly a ghost.
I somewhat liked the twist of The Village. And of course, even though it's not really a twist, I think Unbroken is a fantastic film.
Yeah, but it's about superheroes and comic books.
But it's this wonderful...
We had this conversation.
Yeah, we've had this conversation before. It's not really a twist, but at the end of it where you put it all...
Smell candles.
Yeah, there's the one down there. Okay. Oh, actually, that looks like it's having a few problems. Jamie? What? Could you just come out here for a second?
We may have a fire. Fire in the studio?
It's not a fire as such. It's small. Do you want to sit up a bit? Or because it's up to you. You don't have to.
I just don't want to block out the beautiful sign. That's why I was ducking down.
The candle under the thing seems to not be burning just the wick. It seems to be burning more than just the wick.
Seriously?
Well, have a look at it. See?
Let's just... yeah, she'll be right.
She'll be right.
She'll be right, mate.
Apples. What's Brian got to say?
Can we have one of those things now?
That was the most Australian thing I've said all day.
She'll be right.
Mate.
I'm really trying to teach Chris these Australianisms.
So Brian said the twist was drilled into the audience's head at the end, or at least that's how I felt. Maybe I need a repeat watch. Which film are you referring to there, Brian?
Shutter Island.
Shutter Island? Yeah, it did. The twist at the end of Shutter Island wasn't really a twist as such. It was just it didn't work. Oh, no, that kind of thing. Or you could say the twist was that he worked out that he was the killer and the fact that he had the breakthrough. So yeah, you're trying to teach Chris some Australianisms. Yep. What are you trying to teach her at the moment, and what's working?
Well, I told her on the way home from the market today. I told her I needed to get home quick because I needed to have a slash.
Yep.
She didn't quite understand that, and I said, "Well, if I were to say to you, my back teeth are floating, what would you think from that?" And she didn't understand, so she would say, I need to piss so bad I can taste it, which is essentially the same thing, but yeah. Australian.
Is that that's all you've got?
Yeah. No, what else have I tried to teach her? She says, whenever she's agreeing with something, she says fuck oath, which I've never heard an Australian say. I say fucking oath.
Yeah, it's fucking oath.
Yeah, fucking oath. But, yeah, fuck oath.
Fucking oath, mate.
But fucking oath. We sound like cockatoos.
Which is a classically Australian animal, so that's good.
That's right. What else you got? The Aussie gentleman. Sheila's.
So,
Bo.
According to this, g'day mate means pleased to make your acquaintance.
Mm-hmm.
He's blotto
means inebriated beyond the capacity to stand up. You little ripper, words of praise, fail me. Rack off, that's a pretty good one.
Rack off.
Rack off, mate. Your presence is no longer required. Fair dinkum.
These are all the things that Al Stewart would say.
Exactly.
Oh, hello.
Stone the crows. So Jamie very graciously has just given us some banana bread muffins.
These don't.
And what's the icing there?
No gluten. There's no icing.
Oh, there's no.
These don't cut into the ones I'm taking home, do they?
No.
Kind of.
Good.
So that's some gluten-free muffins there for the show, because Dale doesn't already eat enough on the show. He's already had a banana. So now we're going to give him some
That's
muffins.
a lie. I've had 2.
Where's his crunchy?
Yeah, where's your crunchy? Pull your head in. You may be correct in your assertion, but shut up. Want to rage? Would you like to drink vast amounts of alcohol with me until we both drop? You drongo, a rather dim-witted person. Your shout, that's got to be a international, doesn't it? Your shout. Go on. I'm not entirely convinced you know what you're talking about. What do you want? May I inquire about your needs? Have a chunder, the delicate act of regurgitation. You pong. Dear me, we do smell, don't we? Bloody oath. How you going? May I inquire about your welfare? Give it a go, you mug. Are you perhaps incapable of performing this act?
Oh, so she go.
Yeah. That's, shut your gob's a good one. Get stuffed, you bitch. My old man shot through. That's a good one.
Could I what? Could I bat a fog?
Fag.
Oh, could I bought a fag?
See, whereas I'd say, I sent this to a English friend of mine one time. I said, "Oh, can I bum a fag?"
Yeah.
No, actually, can I bum a smoke?
Yeah.
And she was like, "What?" And I'm like, "Could I borrow it, or could I have a smoke?"
I do like the bought a fag.
So yeah, just while we eat on the show,
Yeah, no.
this is good for the audio. And you talk whilst I eat.
Jamie, they were delicious.
I'm glad you liked it.
Gavin's eating my other one. Yeah, I'm wrecked today. Went to the market today. It was quite good. First store we went to, bumped into one of my ex-girlfriends.
Oh.
Yep. So
Well, there's so many of them, it's not surprising.
I have no animosity towards her. She worked at a store, but I just couldn't be bothered talking to her, so I just let Chris go and buy the kale, and we moved on. She was one of the Sarahs. I've dated 3 Sarahs, 2 back to back. Yeah.
At least you're not going to get into trouble for yelling out the wrong name.
No, that's right. The Golden Gay Time.
It's pretty Australian.
It is. To have a golden gay time. I had a really fun experience when I was in Italy.
Okay.
Just no segue here.
No.
Besides ragging on the stupid things Americans say. So we went to the Colosseum, and then there was this guy on the tour who was an American guy, and he was a stereotypical annoying American person. And, he was just saying all these smart-ass little things along the way. And there was a point at the Colosseum where you could stand out above it was kind of a stagey bit area. And, we had a tour guide who was, directing us, and he had a little microphone that was, and over here you will see the, where the lions were fed to the Christians. And this American guy has got out in front of everyone, and he's gone, "Are you not entertained?" And I've just turned to the people I'm with, and I've just gone, "What a fucking wanker!" And I didn't realise I was standing right next to the tour guide, so everyone in our group in their earpiece heard, "What a fucking wanker!"
Did you get a laugh though?
Oh, everyone was laughing their arsehole.
So for our international viewers, a wanker, to have a wank is to masturbate. A wanker is someone who masturbates, but a wanker is... How would you describe a wanker?
A person who wanks.
A wanker's oh my god, I can't.
Could you say like a really conceited motherfucker who really knows nothing about anything?
I can think of someone who is a wanker.
Hey.
Not you. One who wanks.
Wanker is a term that literally means one who wanks, masturbates, but has since become a general insult as a what?
That word?
Pejorative term of English origin common in Britain and other parts of English-speaking world, including Ireland, Australia, and New Zealand. It initially referred to an onanist and is synonymous with the word tosser.
Yes, you tosser.
Okay, I'm going to go back.
And it goes with this symbol.
I like the fact that there was actually a hand going, doing the thing. While to wank means to masturbate, the term wanker is seldom, if ever, used in British slang to denote one who wanks. It is quite wrong to infer from somebody's being a wanker that they in fact wank, and vice versa. But of course, fair to assume that they do in any case. Herein lies the genius of the insult. If you call someone a wanker, it's probably true, but only literally. I suppose it all originates from our repressed Victorian sexualities, from back when everybody thought they were the only ones to suffer secret shame of being an actual wanker. Most children these days learn the term wanker long before they learn its literal meaning. You're such a wanker, oh gosh, how did you know?
You need to look up a term on this.
Yeah, we do, but... Wanker, George W. Bush. Wankers can be trusted with their own dicks, let alone anyone else. I know, but hold on. I just want to find...
A bloke who whacks off a lot.
What? A term of endearment.
Ryan's been in the shower for hours. He must be wanking for...
Britain.
Oh, God.
Because I think a cunt is different to a wanker, is different to a dickhead. A wanker is, Jamie said it quite correctly, a wanker is someone who's a bit full of themselves and a bit of a show-off, I don't know, it's hard to... Yeah, it's hard to think anyway. Give it a second.
Okay.
Brian was saying before that he's dated 3 Jenners. So
wow.
He knows how you feel.
3 Jenners. Were they back-to-back, Brian? Because I did back-to-back, and then I had a bit of a spell, and then I went out with another Sarah.
So they were actually all 3 back-to-back, in a way, because you had that spell in the middle.
Well, no, it was a spell of other girls.
Oh, okay, that's what you meant. Brian is saying that he thinks that we just called Americans wankers. But no, that's different. Not all Americans are wankers. Some of them are.
Some are lesbians.
Some of them are lesbians, some of them are dickheads, and some of them are right cunts.
You are a right cunt. Bully.
See, because to me, a cunt is someone who does something deliberately to hurt someone. If somebody... Oh, we're running... That's not good. To me, a cunt would be someone who deliberately tried to...
so you got to look up the term girls' undies.
Oh, okay. If somebody deliberately tried to screw someone over, they'd be, oh, what a cunt.
Read out the description.
Okay, Urban Dictionary, number 1.
Yeah.
Tony Abbott, our current Prime Minister, is definitely a cunt. I think it's quite safe to say that D&G does not vote Liberal.
No.
No.
I vote for the sex party.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
Girls' undies. To be viewed as weak or pathetic by your friend or group of friends for not doing as they suggest. In extreme cases, the put down can have with skids added to the end to emphasise the weakness and patheticness. Let's go to the pub. Nah, not tonight. You're a girl's undies. Extreme. I think I am going to pass on the pub tonight to spend time with my girl. Ah, you girl's undies with skids. By Dale Kent. He He's so proud of himself that it was him
Yep.
in 2008 on June the 20th.
Girls undies.
And he's had 17 thumbs up and 7 thumbs down.
Yep.
Wow.
It's girls undies.
I think I'm going to pass on the pub tonight to spend time with my girl.
Your girls
Oh,
undies.
your girls' undies with skids.
Girls undies with skids. I'm on the internet.
Yes, you are on the internet. Brian was saying that his 2 Jenners had an Amanda in the middle.
Oh,
There's
that
a
must
lot
have
of-
been a good night.
There's a lot of talk here about all these girls together and stuff like that. Yeah. I don't think I've ever doubled up on names. Not that it matters,
No.
but yeah.
Oh, what was that?
Where?
That looked exciting on Facebook.
Oh,
The old nettle broth lunch.
nettle broth lunch.
Mmm.
So I'm not sure what they're called in. I know they're called in England. They're called stinging nettles. I don't know about other parts of the world.
Chris has been told to drink nettle tea at the
Oh,
moment.
absolutely.
Yeah. It's good for you?
Highly recommend nettle tea. Chris, is she watching?
No.
Okay, Chris, if you ever see this, Dale will probably tell you. I would be more than happy to go down to the Collingwood Children's Farm with you and jump the fence and pick nettles, because they have a field in particular at the moment that is full of nettles growing, and I love nettle tea.
What's it taste like?
It's not the best tasting,
Okay.
I'll be honest with you. But if you've got some other tea and you just chop up some of them and add them to it, you'll be fine. So if you go like a lemon honey ginger tea, which is great for you and tastes great because of the honey and the lemon, and then you chop up some nettles and put them in there as well, really high vitamin content. You know how when you take a multivitamin you then piss fluoro?
Yep.
I pissed fluoro after
A nettle. Wow.
nettle tea.
What does nettle look like?
Okay. I want to point out for all those playing at home, nettles sting like fuck.
Yeah, that's what are they called? Stingy nettle.
Yep. They sting, and then a few seconds later the sting intensifies.
Ah, I see.
And then half an hour later you're still just like, God, this is annoying. So yeah.
Is it like poison ivy or?
No, it's not like poison ivy. You don't get poison ivy gives you quite a nice rash. Although this little kid here has got a bit of a bitch face. But he's also got a bit of a rash there from stinging nettles.
Well, he is a ginger.
Yeah, true. Weak cunt. So that's a stinging nettle. The serrated edge leaf is very recognisable. You can actually see in that picture, that big leaf on the top right, you can see the stingers just in on the branch there. They will get you. The way to pick them, if anyone is actually interested, I don't know how. You've got to stop me when I get gardening and planting, because otherwise I will continue going for ages. The way to do it is to pick them. So if the root coming down, you want to get under the soil, grab the roots, and then pull up like that, and then hold them by the roots.
Then how do you pick them so you don't get stung?
That's how you pick them to not get
No,
stung.
like how do you prepare them then?
Tongs
Yeah.
and a knife. So put them on your chopping board, even with the holding the roots, and then you can chop like that and flatten them all out and stuff, and then just get some tongs and put them into your pot or however you're going to prepare it. There's
Did you
different.
dry them or anything? Or?
No, I've done it straight in. They wilt incredibly quickly, and then when they dry, for instance, I picked some one time and put them on the dashboard of the truck, and within like half an hour they'd wilted under the sun and just were completely useless. So you want to try and keep the positive, the good stuff in there. That one looks almost drug-like.
It does.
So yeah, these are all of a bunch of different varieties. Here in Australia, you'll find a common one will look like that one.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Collingwood Children's Farm, you'd probably get into trouble for jumping the fence.
Well, because of all the animals.
Well, the field that I've noticed them in was just recently turned over by a couple of pigs, and so I don't think they've got anything in there at the moment. But
Can you hold the fort for a sec? I've had a coffee, so I need
you've
to.
really got to go. Oh, okay. So it's just me now talking plants.
Just talk. Plants.
Awesome. So we're talking plants, guys. Stinging nettle tea is pretty popular, pretty common. Yeah, you can make broth and stew, and I mean, just here there's a stinging nettle soup. I personally have never bothered with that because the flavour when I've had them wasn't anything special, so I just had them as an addition to my other tea because I'm a big fan of beneficial tea and using herbs and plants and stuff like that. For instance, the lemon honey ginger tea that I'm a big fan of. If you're making your own honey, you can, if you want, make your own honey, of course, if you want to keep the bees. Lemons, everyone should have a lemon tree if you've got the land for it. And ginger grows quite easily as a root in your...
There's gum leaves in the dunny.
I was hoping that he would mention that because that's going to keep us talking about plants.
Gum leaves in the dunny.
I saw not that long ago it's a walnut on top of stinging nettle pesto.
Oh.
So stinging nettles are really fun to sting people with because you pick them up by the roots and then you walk up to someone and just go like that. Light touch on the arm and they'll go, oh. It's a double reaction, which is awesome. So I saw not that long ago a thing that said...
Is this Canadian for?
Well, because you can eat them as well.
Bite his tongue?
Yeah. I've seen an episode of River Cottage stinging nettle eating competitions. It's popular in England. They're mostly an English plant. That's probably how we've got them out over here. I saw a thing that suggested that if you have eucalyptus leaves in your shower, the steam from, or in the bathroom, the shower from that will rise up, and then positive eucalyptus oils and stuff will be released.
Nice.
Just like steaming it. So far, that's been there for 2-3 days now. So far, it has made squat difference and probably won't be replicated with that leaf anyway, because that's a specific type of eucalypt, that tree. It's for anyone that cares, it's a much broader leaf as opposed to the thin leaf. Not with those ones. Okay. No. That's yet another eucalypt leaf. I don't know the names of them, which really annoys me. I really would like to step up my nerdiness and be able to Latin name all those eucalypts, but what you gonna do? I've actually got to study 6 plants to try and remember for Tuesday, which I was meant to do all week, and I was planning on doing all week, but I haven't got around.
Life gets in the way.
Sure does. Overtraining and going to work. So anyway.
That's fucking ruined.
That's a good break. Star Wars. Yeah. Have you, by any chance, watched the recent... that guy's still going, that video. Oh, I actually really want to watch that now because I love the idea of going camping and making like a tea broth out of just leaves and stuff that I've found. But anyway, that's because that's the kind of nerd I am. If we ever do, because I've daydreamed about it and we've semi-joked and you've said that you like camping.
I do like camping.
I love the idea of us doing a show whilst camping and me revealing how much of a dirty hippie I am when I go camping. And you sitting there going, what the fuck are you doing? You can't eat that, you just cooked it on a rock.
Oh, wow, on a rock.
I haven't done that, but I would love to try that kind of thing. For instance, I love the idea of fishing, catching a fish, gutting it, opening it up, putting it on some sticks above the fire, cooking it like that, and then just picking bits off it. Because I've seen that done a bunch of times and it was quite enjoyable. It looked quite nice. So, yeah.
I ate something last night.
Hello.
That I didn't think I would ever eat. Chicken feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not where I was going.
No. What do you think I was going to say?
Ass. No.
Oh. Eat the ass.
With the right pills.
I didn't think I would like it because I don't like bony things, like things with lots of bones. Like I hate eating rabbit because it's got so many bones and stuff like that.
Will you take the bones out? Do you eat when you eat the chicken's feet, because I've never done it, do you eat the actual bone and the crunchy, or is it just the outs?
I just eat the skin and the meat.
So you just sort of nibble around the bone
and then
stuff. Was it nice?
Yeah, Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was black bean sauce.
I was about to say, was it nice because of the sauce and because of the seasoning, or was it nice because the actual meat tasted good?
Oh, well, it tasted like chicken feet.
Mm.
Yeah, well, I also had chicken ribs, which they can't be a real thing. Chicken ribs can't be. Chickens don't have ribs, do they? Well, they've got it. They've got a rib cage, so.
If they've got a rib cage, then they do.
Yeah.
We've got 2 chickens in the fridge, so I'll let you know when.
Like foraging for worms or.
Oh no, they're very dead.
Very dead, I
Yes.
guess. Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King?
I just felt like saying that.
Okay, sure. I'm getting distracted by Facebook status, Facebook numbers, which is not good of me. I think all those numbers there are pretty much me sharing it, and then
ignoring.
our good friend Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
Yeah. Okay, so we're an hour in, and we're stumbling again.
Well, as I said at the start of the podcast, I'm going to be hopeless tonight.
Yeah, you did. You made sure it was up on Front Street.
Yeah. Well, I'm not very good to myself during the week in terms of sleep, and then I'm really, really bad on the weekends when I get so excited Friday afternoon because I think, all right, cool, I get to sleep in on the weekend, and I just go to bed really late, and the sleep in doesn't even count. Why is Demi on a podium for Marumba?
I'm not sure.
Anyway.
Weird. I ruined myself. I did 2 doubles Monday and Tuesday. Completely ruined myself and ate badly. And then Wednesday, Thursday just had nothing when I got home. And then that sent me off into a bad mental health period patch, which meant that I didn't go to work Friday. Luckily, Friday was the recovery for Friday in terms of not feeling so good in the head and stuff was brilliant and perfect. I just felt so much better. And then we did syllabus drills on Friday night. And yeah, felt much better. And then last night, a mate of mine wasn't feeling so great. We ended up going to the pub for a drink. I had more to drink last night than I've had in what I think would be all year.
Shit.
And I still... We ended up spending $200.
Shit.
Between the two of us.
Shit.
With some food in there as well.
Shit.
I think I had at least 6 pints of Guinness.
Nice. Where'd you go?
The Glenferrie Hotel.
Oh, yeah, good.
Very nice place. It was perfect for the night. We had a great, really get your teeth stuck into it, deep and meaningful varieties of conversation were just all over the place, and it was fantastic. But I don't know how I drank that much and didn't wake up worse than I did. That is something that I want to do again in a year or in 2 years. I don't want to do it again next weekend. But yeah, it was a really good night in that regard. It wasn't a perfect night, but it was still a pretty good night. And I don't know how I woke up as well as I did. I was expecting it to be much worse. Like, as I was getting home and I was realising, God damn it, I am drunk, I was like, tomorrow morning's going to be terrible. I woke up and I really wasn't that bad. It was good. But I am, because of bad eating, I remember we were talking in one of our early episodes about diet and eating and stuff. I proved yet again that my diet has to be good for both my mental and physical health. I proved that to myself yet again this week, and so hopefully I'm going to be very, very strict on myself this week to try and achieve that.
Yeah, I've decided after tomorrow, I think I'm gonna. I know this is horrible. I'm gonna try and not have coffee in the mornings at first pour.
What is your? Are you gonna have it at home?
That's just
though?
so expensive.
Yep.
It's just so
What do they
expensive.
charge? They're $3.80, aren't they?
Oh, they're $4 because I get a Magic.
You get the double.
Yeah. So
If you want to try and work out a home system,
yeah,
I'm more than happy to help you try and set one of them up.
Yeah. I don't know.
We can get you a stovetop percolator.
Yeah. Well, I could use one of those, but
Oh, why not?
I don't know. I'm gonna get coffee.
Do you want to pour over?
What's a pour over?
Where you grind it into a very thick grind, a very coarse grind, put it into the filter in the cup sitting on top of your cup, and you pour the water over and it goes through. It's very tea-like.
Oh, yes.
And you put a little bit of milk in there, and it's very nice. Very tea-like coffee, very subtle coffee as well. Your espresso kind of coffees will just be like burning caffeine.
See, I love espressos.
Okay, well we need to get you a stovetop percolator. It'll take time to get you good at it, but we've got it. That's what we'll do.
Don't you just put water in, you turn it on, and...
No.
Okay.
You got to get the grind right. You've got to heat the water first to put it in.
Not know that.
You can't overpack it. You've got to get really good at predicting your pack. I overpacked mine the other month or so, and nothing happened. All the steam came out the release valve.
Shit. So no water?
No, nothing came through because I packed it way too tight. I grind it too fine and packed it too tight, and it just couldn't come through. So getting that relationship right is really important. That's why whenever somebody says, "Oh, I use a stovetop percolator," I always go, "Okay, well, I want to see you do it before I judge whether you make good coffee or not." Because I think it's very unlikely. Because I spent ages making bad coffee with those, and I'd put sugar in and I'd make it nice enough to drink. But unless you can drink an espresso shot of coffee from your stovetop percolator, you're not making good enough.
Yeah, see, I kind of find like I ate at a cafe till the cows come home, but with the stovetop one, it's just so friggin' hot.
It's hot, and I always find it to be a little bit more bitter than I would necessarily prefer. So that's another example of getting that to you don't want to overcook it or burn it, and so you've got to get the water going through at a nice quick pace. The water shouldn't sit in it for too long because the water's hot and that's going to burn it and get that bitterness. So you need it to be coming through at a good rate, which is where your packing and grind come into it.
So how do you heat the water up first?
In the kettle.
Ah, okay.
So you have it. What I do is I put the chamber into a shot glass. Then I have the other here. I put the kettle on to boil. I grind my coffee and pack my cone. I pour the water in just below the release valve. I put that in. I put the top on. Turn it. The stove is still on, and I put it straight on top. And then we try it, and then we go. And then that's how you see whether it works or not. I actually made. I've got a tiny little espresso machine. I actually made that when camping one time. Yeah. Which is pretty good. It just, unfortunately, that one only made espressos, and it wasn't quite satisfying enough whilst I was camping. That said, though, Jamie and I camped on a beach in New South Wales one time, and I made coffee with the stovetop percolator off the flame, which was in rocks. But it wasn't. That wasn't the best. That wasn't the best coffee, was it, Jamie?
I don't remember.
So it must have been memorable.
Yeah. The food was good that day. I made like scrambled eggs with bacon and mushrooms in a little cast iron
skillet.
No, not a skillet, a little pot. Just a little pot. That was a good breakfast.
They're so heavy.
They were heavy. I wouldn't have, because that was a camping trip that involved camping right next to the car, so we drove the whole way, so it wasn't a problem. You can't take cast iron when it's just like a solo trip or anything. If we ever go camping for D&G, then we'll bring cast iron, because then you've got obviously the two of us. The question though is, for that kind of camping trip, is do we rough it and go sleep under the stars, or do we need a tent?
Need a tent? What are we going to sleep in?
Sleeping bags.
Yeah.
I've got a bivvy bag personally.
A body bag?
A bivvy bag, but I don't.
It's a bivvy bag.
A bivvy bag with a bivvy bag. A bivvy bag is just a bivvy bag is pretty much just a waterproof container that you put your sleeping bag and yourself into.
Like swag or?
Similar to a swag. A swag in theory has your bedroll, your sleeping bag, your sheet, your wool blanket all together, and then you roll it up. A bivvy bag is separate most times, but bivvy bags and swags cross over so much.
Okay.
You could call something a bivvy bag, and it's not. It's also referred to as a swag depending on where you are. I'd happily sleep in the bivvy bag, the sleeping bag, and just a tarp over the top of me for rain. But then I've got the hammock as well. Hammock's pretty good. Quite enjoy the hammock. Yeah, got to go camping again because I didn't go that other week.
A couple of weekends
Quite
ago.
disappointing. Had a great weekend here doing stuff, but really got to go camping again. Weather's getting warm as well, which means you don't have to carry quite as much because you don't have to carry as many layers for warmth, which is good. You can skip the wool blanket, or you can skip the sleeping bag and just go the wool blanket. Anyway, make some eucalyptus tea like that broth. Anyway, I definitely think a D&G camping trip needs to happen at some point. I think that would be fun. So, yeah. Cool.
Just generally liking people's posts.
I like that one. I think that's a friend of ours saying House Proud Sunday makes me happy. I fully agree. I think it's nice when you have the time to clean up the house and make it look nice. And then I also find it good because it's like getting ready for battle of the week. I like to prep. I've got my training gear packed. I've got my food mostly ready. I know that I've got the work clothes washed. I've got everything ready. And then tomorrow morning, bang, we're going. Unfortunately, then by like Wednesday, it's all unraveled and it's all crap again. So, yeah. Thoughts?
I don't know. What's the plan for the week?
The plan for the week is to go to work.
Nice.
Yeah, try and get some work done. Try not to pick my nose on
Camera. I do it every week, don't
yeah. I'm wondering what people are going to say because I've got my septum piercing down today. And I don't think it's obvious in the...
What do you wonder what Brian's going to say?
Well, just because, look, see how it... Can you see it in the image that it's like there's a bit of reflection off the light?
No.
But you can't quite see what it is. So it just looks like I've got a snot hanging out of my nose.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
I was wondering why would people say anything, but I realised it looks like you got a snot hanging out, you know.
So whereas it's actually a ring? I don't know. Anyway, I've got to get a new ring for that.
It's rather big.
Yeah, I've stretched it.
How do you stretch your septum?
How'd
you take it out so quick?
That's how for those playing at home, it's that, and it just goes...
How do you stretch your septum? Tell me.
You put a bigger thing in it than what was previously in it.
Yeah, but how do you stretch it? Like, do you...
Because it's not the cartilage or anything. It's pierced, so the cartilage stops like there, and here it's not cartilage, it's just skin and tissue.
Yeah.
So that's the bit that's pierced, and then that you can then stretch.
Okay.
Originally I wanted to get like McDonald's straw type thickness so that I could have a big chunk hanging in there. That was an original idea. But at the moment I'm perfectly happy with the current size. Given that I only ever have the retainer in, I never have any proper jewellery or anything in
retainer?
it. This thing.
Okay.
A retainer's because I can put it up. So when I'm at work it doesn't look like I've got it and stuff like that. It look very normal. And then I can bring it down. I want to get like a ring, and I also want to get like a tribal type sideways thing. But it's just, when do I have the opportunity to wear those?
When you're in the tribe up north?
Yeah, exactly. When I go camping and I'm all like getting natural and with my spirit animal. No, because I can't get punched and have that there.
Exactly.
I got armbarred the other day in class, and the leg came over and just went smack straight in the face with the back of the calf.
Did you have it in?
I didn't have it in because I never roll with it in. But I've just gone, oh God, and I had that stunned kind of mullet look. And I thought to myself, I have rolled previously with it in when it's pointing like that.
Oh, God.
And when it's pointing like that, a bit of pressure on the nose pushes it back into into cartilage and like that bone there, and it fucking hurts. So if I'd had it in and I'd got smacked in the nose, whether it's rolling or punching, that would cause a lot of damage. So I definitely take it out every time I roll.
My reaction.
You just saw your reaction when I took it out so quickly. I definitely. It's one of my things. I get to class, I take the glasses off, the watch off, the septum out, and put them in my shoe. That's my standard.
And then you finish class, you put septum up in your nose again, out of your shoe, get all your tinea.
Well, yeah, because the tinea is going to live really well inside my nose.
Yeah, it does.
Anyway.
Yeah. I had to do a thing for school the other day, and they asked about funguses, and the only other one I could come up with was jock itch.
Tinea. I hate jock itch.
Jock itch. Jock.
That died.
That died now. Yeah.
I mean, I used to, when I first started rolling, I had big stretched ears. And I used to have to take them out with every class.
Does it hurt to get your septum pierced?
Yeah.
Okay.
But imagine like a really bad. Why is it all girls? There's no boys there. Anyway.
He's a boy.
That's not a boy,
Isn't it?
No.
Sure. That's a boy. She's a bit cute, the one...
Well, Scarlett's got one.
Does she? Does she really have one?
That's Scarjo. Yep.
But does she really have one? Or?
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, she does.
Loves it.
That's
T.
pretty. That's pretty. I should get that. What was I saying?
Septum piercing. Painful.
Well, I was also saying that I used to take my plugs out of my ears as well.
So go down.
Hold on. When I'd roll.
That is just ridiculous.
Yeah, that's extreme. I'm never gonna go that far. The one on the left we're referring to. That is a little too much, in my opinion.
Yeah, see, I took all my piercings out when I started doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, well,
except my ears. My ears, I had them stretched for a while, and then I just got over it because they would just get that white cheesy stuff on it afterwards.
I can do that.
That's just wrong. That's fucked up.
I think I can do that.
I don't want to see you do that. I want to see you do that. Not on our podcast.
Yeah, I'd be able to do that.
Good. Don't do it. Oh, Jesus. Jamie, stop him.
What's he doing?
Stop him.
What's he doing?
Ah, he put his fucking glasses through his septum hole.
Yeah, that's gross. Stop it, Kevin.
Yes, Mum.
And then he puts it back behind his ears.
My nose isn't dirty.
Snotty.
I remember when I first was stretching my nose.
There, now that is ridiculous.
It's all fun.
When I was first stretching my nose, I was talking to Jamie on the phone, and that looks fake though. That looks photoshopped. It might not be, but it looks photoshopped.
You see the guys that stretch their cheeks?
Yeah, I don't get that. I have previously thought that
that is redonkulous.
I have previously thought that I liked the look of a stretched septum. Like, that guy's got a stretched septum, but it's way too big in my opinion.
And he's got stretched nostrils.
Plus, he's got the stretched nostrils, and yeah, that's a commitment to
and to stretch the bread
to a certain lifestyle. That one, but yeah, when I was first stretching my septum, I actually was putting these bigger things in, and I was hanging things off it and stuff. And I sent Jamie a couple of pictures, and her reply was just, "What the hell are you doing?" It was funny. But yeah, I could do that. I could get the fake.
That's awesome.
I could get the fake jewelry that.
That guy's a goose.
See, because that's a stretched labret as well.
Yeah.
And then he stretched his nose to fit the fake mustache.
That's pretty cool. Oh, look, I'll give him that.
Scarjo with the piercing again. Yeah, I got over rolling and having the possibility of this big hole that people could get their finger caught and stuff in, and I just got to the point where I was like, I don't mind taking them out, but I've still got holes there, so I can still. I think at some point in my later life, I'll probably re-stretch them back out because I quite liked them. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I took all mine out. I mean, I had my lip. I had my lip. I think I'd taken that out by that stage though. My ears, my tragus, and then I had my conch earlier, but I took that out. But it's no point. Like, you know, I wouldn't want to get them fucking pulled out.
Yeah. You just keep in mind.
I remember there was a guy that used to roll with nipple rings in.
If you're wearing a rashie or something, that'd be alright, wouldn't it?
A ring?
Oh, you're talking an actual circle,
Ring.
not just a barbell.
No, a ring.
Oh, barbell I can understand, but a ring... but again, if you're wearing a rashie, it's keeping it snug to the thing. But I guess there could be a finger... You never know, I guess.
And again, who needs nipples?
Especially gentlemen. Most gentlemen don't need nipples.
Dead to me. Anyway, let's get off nipple rings and nose rings. And who's she? What is she doing later?
So yeah.
Yeah. What time we got?
We've been doing 1 hour and 20 minutes. That's a perfectly acceptable amount in my opinion.
Me too.
I think it would be a-okay.
We've done good. I didn't think I would last this long, and it's been a rather entertaining one. It's not.
It has been a consistent. We've had some low points.
Yeah.
If we were doing this for a particular time frame, then we would probably be cutting some stuff out, like just some tightening up some timing. But luckily for me, we don't do that.
No.
Because that would be a lot more effort. I actually noticed. I remember one of the older episodes the other week when before we had such a tight start and finish. I uploaded or started to upload a section at the start that we didn't need to have in there, even to the point where there was some discussion that just didn't need to be heard by people. Like we were talking and referencing a few things, and I was like, yeah, I don't think we should put that out there. Don't think we were saying bad things, but we were just saying stuff that's I don't want to say private. Makes it sound too severe, but just stuff that you don't want to put on the show.
Yeah.
And I thought I really should just double check the start and end if we're going to have those kind of soft openings and stuff. But we've now got it to a point of having very professional, hard and fast starts and finishes. Speaking of which, that's the end of the show.
Yep.
Thank you very much, Brian, for tuning in as always. Thank you for anyone who watches, listens. Please feel free to write
millions of dollars.
Write descriptions, email us, rate us on any device you can, because that helps us. And we'll see you next week.
Stay safe. I love this backdrop.